Some groundbreaking Grand Theft Auto documents have surfaced, and they're not what you'd expect. A 2001 GTA Online planning document has been leaked on the GTA forums, revealing ideas that are both incredibly ambitious and a little bit eerie. Rockstar Games envisioned features over 2 decades ago that later became reality, and some that you might actually recognise that are in GTA Online right now. But by the end of this video, you'll understand why Rockstar recently acquiring CFX-RE, the team behind 5M, is even more interesting now this document has surfaced. And trust me, this leak is a game changer, showcasing just how ahead of their time Sam Houser, Dan Houser, and the Rockstar team truly were. And in the background today, this is a GTA 3 multiplayer map that was discovered in the game's files. We're going to be exploring some of them in the background gameplay, and I'm also a bit later on going to be showing you some of the alpha gameplay of GTA 3. But it is just a mod, but it's just there for the background. So the document outlines ambitious plans for an early version of GTA Online. Surprisingly, many of these ideas resemble features found in modern GTA RP servers. So firstly, the document begins with a very interesting image. I can't show you the actual image or document graphs, but I'll be recreating them on screen. Here's the logo. This is the real GTA Online logo. Not this. This has been the GTA Online logo for over 2 decades. If you go and fetch a copy of GTA 5, you'll actually see this logo on the back of the cover, which is very interesting. Interestingly enough, this is the very same logo found on this document. I don't know why I find that interesting, I just did find it interesting. So firstly, there would be a character creator. There would be attributes to apply to one's character. And here's an example I recreated in Photoshop. And yes, there's an actual pre-alpha screenshot within the document, but I cannot show it for legal reasons. The leaked skills give some examples of what we could expect with our character creation, and it would even allow us to become policemen, which is something we only see on GTA RP servers, but this is something Rockstar Games were planning way back in 2001. It looks like a ton of the gameplay would have been point and click actions, a little bit like RuneScape, but only during combat and interacting with NPCs or players through a right-click interaction menu. But this time the game would allow one to level up each skill, earning more money for a job, or just simply becoming faster at an activity. One of the key notes on the document details how a skilled player might be able to pick the lock of an armoured car, while another who was just a beginner in the game would only be able to pick a normal car door. And in order for your skills to go up and to do better, you would have to simply do that action more. This is something that isn't even present in today's GTA Online. The fact that you've actually got to level up your skills is definitely a more realistic approach. Now this is where things start to get a bit juicy. It starts to make sense why Rockstar have bought out and they're working with CFX-RE now, likely making something huge for GTA 6 in my opinion. Because in the document it explains how the public inventory and item exchange systems work. Players can store items in accessible locations like car trunks or cabinets. Accessibility varies based on locks, trunks, and require opening before you can access the items. Items in these places can be taken by others unless concealed. Players could exchange items and collect things throughout the world, something that was only really introduced properly by Rockstar in Red Dead Redemption 2, at least to this level of detail. So for item exchange, players can trade items by right-clicking on each other's character and selecting exchange. This opens an inventory and trade window for both parties, showing items and money being exchanged. Something I found super interesting though is how they seemingly planned to allow you to lose items almost permanently, and how items are precious in the game just like quote-unquote real life. They would encourage players to fight each other and even betray each other, knowing that some possessions could not be recovered after the player has died. So that is extremely interesting in my opinion. The player would also have to log in and out of designated areas such as a park bench, a bar, a nightclub or the headquarters. So as for the player attributes, there is things like strength, which would have affected how much the player could carry. There's dexterity and agility, which affects dodging and climbing. And then there's also attributes such as intelligence, which also affects how quickly the player would be able to, say, hotwire a car. These are all genuine examples Rockstar Games wrote down in this document, but it does explain how more skills and attributes could be applied, many of which suggest just how ambitious Rockstar really were with this project. For example, climbing, concealment, city sense, different classes of driving licenses, first aid experience, which could suggest working for a paramedic or as an emergency worker. There was gambling, which would suggest that casinos may have been planned long before GTA Online's casino. There's pickpocketing, swimming, which is interesting because in GTA 3, Claude cannot swim. There's bribery, counterfeiting, which suggests things like the counterfeit business in GTA Online would have been seen way before that in GTA 3. And the list goes on. There's tons. There's making explosives. There's chemistry, suggesting the ability to make drugs. All of these are just attributes that you could get for your character, which suggests that those trees went further and further along the skill tree. It also details in the document a player heads-up display, which would display a player's damage with a sort of like a graph of a body, which would then highlight which areas you're injured in. But this next one is the most interesting to me. Another feature that sounds like it's straight out of a GTA RP server, only Rockstar made it 20 years before. The document states that ambulances and hospitals play a key role in handling injured players. When a player is injured, an ambulance will arrive, often with police if the player has committed a crime. Players will be taken to the city hospital and they will be treated but sent to jail afterwards. Alternatively, players can flee the scene if they're able to and seek help from other players who are playing as doctors. Players can also play as police and pursue the player who has escaped. When a player is arrested, they face a court hearing and must choose to plead guilty or not guilty. Pleading guilty results in a straightforward jail sentence of average length, but pleading not guilty triggers a legal skill check against the judge's skill. How successful you were in court can dismiss the charges or lead to a hefty sentence. But for police players, dying would be treated differently, reflecting the heroism of dying in the line of duty, and most items are returned intact after they die. But then the document goes on to explain how players could own their own properties. Players can purchase 4 classes of property, allowing them to store items, hide from pursuers, and meet with others in complete privacy. But ownership comes with a monthly upkeep cost, just like it does in GTA Online now. Apartments will provide a personal, secure space to store equipment, meet with others, or hide. You could also own garages and store vehicles, as well as townhouses and luxurious buildings for the most prestigious properties, combining features of the apartments and garages together, which sounds very similar to the high-end apartments we have now in GTA Online. It's incredible to hear just how ambitious Rockstar Games truly were for GTA Online over 20 years ago, and it makes me more excited about the future, especially for GTA 6, and now they have a recent partnership with CFX RE. I'm extremely excited to see exactly what they do when it comes to the next version of GTA Online. Unfortunately, Rockstar Games never did manage to make GTA Online back for GTA 3, as we all know. But along with this leak, we also got a ton of information about GTA San Andreas. Make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe for more GTA content just like this. And we'll also be covering the San Andreas girlfriends in the next video. So I'll see you guys over there and have a good day. Adios.